Naomi. Hi guys. Today we're gonna explore how Clicker can be used to support varying student groups through all stages of the writing journey: planning, writing, and revising. Um, our agenda, first we're gonna talk about what is Clicker. Um, I kind of want to turn this off, but anyway, that distracted me. I don't know if you guys saw my chat pop up. But anyway, we're going to utilize Learning Grids, our pre-made curriculum-based resource bank. Going to customize user profiles to meet individual group needs. Going to discuss implementation ideas, create clicker sets, and then finally, we're going to assess student work through analytics. So what I really want you guys to get out of this, and we're going to dive into Clicker in just a second here, probably a couple minutes to be exact, but I really want participants to think about two ways that Clicker and the Clicker apps can support diverse learning needs and the inclusion of students in general education classrooms. I'd love for you guys to think about how you can compare and contrast the features of Clicker and how they can be customized to emerging writers as well as intermediate writers. I see something in the chat. Welcome everyone. Oops, a little delayed. Participants will understand how to select pre-made content from Learning Grids. And lastly, so what is Clicker? Before we begin, it's an award-winning writing solution, providing every student with a tailored education experience. It has UDL resources. It's a supportive word processor, and it's compatible with Windows, PCs, Macs, and iPads. This is what the Clicker document looks like. You're going to see it in just a second, but here we have our cornerstone features like speech support, a word predictor, spell check, voice note icons, and then Picturize as well, our automatic picture feature. So this is our agenda. We're going to start with a read a book, going to move on to a read it yourself Clicker book, talk set, matching set, and then our writing grids we're going to get to. So basically what I'm trying to say is I picked the topic of animals of the savannah. This is a Great Barrier Reef, but we're going to go through animals of the savannah as if it's like a topic in class. We're going to learn it from start to finish. This is what analytics is going to look like. And yeah, I don't think I need to go through all of these. I kind of want to dive in. These are some examples. This is kind of traditional story writing. You could write a letter. I don't, there's so much that you can do. And I just want to kind of give you guys a broad overview of it. So hopefully that, some of it or most of it will stick. And then lastly, we're going to end up in the training hub. This is my contact information. If you do want a demo or want a meeting after this webinar, feel free to drop your contact information in the chat. Great. We got through that. Now, now we're going to start with Clicker here. So what I wanted to start with was our read a book. So to get there, to get to Learning Grids and open that up, I have everything opened up for you guys already. But if you wanted to open it up, go into the top left, File Explorer, Learning Grids, and then from here you can search in the search bar. We have over 3,200 learning grids to choose from. You could search by topic, or you could search by Clicker resource as well. So in our Clicker, there's 3 different types of books. We're going to cover the first 2 right now. We got our Animals of the Savannah read a book. So this is going to help introduce this topic to our students. We could read this as a group. Maybe we have a shared whiteboard, and maybe we could have students come up to the board, click the speak text icon.
Savannas are grassy plains with a few trees. They are found in country.
You guys get the idea. And what's really great about Clicker is that anything that I open up, any of this pre-made content, if I go to the top right, click my pencil icon, I can easily, simplify this. I could remove sentences and, make this a little bit easier if we want to support students at different levels. So, now we have a lot, a sentence less, and we could, do this for all these pages as well if we wanted to. All right. And then, after we introduce the topic with our read a book, now we really want our students to start reading it themselves. And this is a read it yourself Animals of the Savannah book. When we go into this book, it's a lot more simplified. So, comparing it to this, you can definitely see the difference. You're thinking to yourself, well, I would love to have narration in this book. You can do that. Go to the top right, pencil icon, come over to the left, and boom, you add your narration. You do have to add it on every page. There are certain settings that adjust all of the resources. I'll get into that later, but for this specifically, you do have to add a voice note for every page, unfortunately. It doesn't take too long, but
A cheetah is a large cat which can run fast.
and we can do the same thing here. Pencil icon. You guys get the idea. And this way, we're basically making a read a book from that read it yourself book if needed. But yeah, that's kind of the intro. Now that we've, read a couple books about it, we're gonna, if the student is strong verbally, we could definitely talk about Animals of the Savannah, and the talk sets are gonna call upon that voice note that I mentioned earlier. So if I click into a picture, I can just create voice notes, kind of just describing the characteristics of a buffalo, getting you to think about it. A cheetah runs fast. I don't want to hear myself, but cheetah runs fast. But yeah, you guys get the idea. It's just kind of another pre-writing activity. And then lastly, after we've talked about all these animals in the savannah, we can do a matching set as well. These are great. I don't want to mention math too much because Clicker is more for writing and reading, but matching sets, help kind of, identify vocabulary, but also they can help with kind of base level math as well, like matching, a certain amount of cups to the correct number, if that makes sense. Anyway, um, if I click the icon in this matching set,
This savanna animal is striped and looks like a horse.
is it a giraffe? No, it's
Well done.
it's a zebra. And
This savanna animal is the tallest animal on land.
alright,
Well done.
I'm glad I'm not getting any wrong. But yeah, now that we've done a lot to introduce this topic, we're gonna get into what I call kind of the bread and butter of Clicker. I'm gonna look at the chat just in a second. Oh, that's Naomi. Just wanted to make sure there were no questions. But all right, so um, to go over our writing resources, I like to introduce them by going into Clicker Set and going to New. And here is how you can create something from scratch. As I've said, I really think it's best to just modify an existing learning grid, but you're more than welcome to do this. Sentence sets are for our most emergent writers. They have single sentence outcomes. Connect set is a little bit more difficult. You have more words and phrases to choose from. And because of that, it's not a single sentence outcome. We have these bridges here where you could create multiple sentences. Word bank, just a virtual word bank, word wall. We all get that. And these planning boards are great for graphic organization. I didn't touch on that. We could touch on that at the end, but you can turn anything that you're working on in a clicker board into a word bank. Anyway, stop me if there's any questions, guys. I don't want to go too fast, but we got this sentence set up, all right? Now, by default, it's in what's called view and remember in random order. So this isn't providing the most amount of support possible. The goal of this exercise is to click into these cells and you can build your sentences. What I wanted to show you is, I don't want to touch on options too much because there's so much to cover, but if I were to go to options, go to the left to speech, I can have Clicker speak every word that is inserted into the document. So once I click go,
Are hot plains in.
I think I might have got this wrong. What savannas are grassy plains and hot countries. I need Clicker myself. But yeah, I guess it's too difficult for me. So when I go into Clicker set, I go into edit I can change the model of the sentence. I can change the actual words that are in the sentence as well. So if I wanted to simplify this, we could just say savannas are grassy plains. Simplified the sentence. Now, what I really wanted to discuss is modeling in word order. So remember, it was in view and remember order. We can view the correct sentence, but we can't just copy it. If I go back in the clicker set, go to edit, I can make it view and copy. I can make it in guided order, and I can also maximize the cell height if I need a larger target area, change the font. Could even add automatic pictures as well in a Windows or Mac device. Oops, I didn't want to do that. It might freeze on me for a second. I apologize, guys. Yeah, one of them's not hooked up, but yeah, sometimes the pictures don't always automatically appear, and I only want to pick from our library that's included. Clicker can work within symbol sticks as well, but here you see we have some automatic pictures that can go along with the cells. Anyway, back to it. Modeling the sentence, view and copy, guided order. We could apply these settings to all the grids, the modeling, and the word order, and boom. Now when we click go, everything is in view and copy
Savannas are grassy plains.
and guided order. I can't get this wrong. I'm trying to get it wrong, but I can't.
A buffalo has a large head with curved horns.
When I punctuate, by default, it will read it to me again.
A buffalo has a large head with curved horns.
And yeah, you guys get the idea. So now that I've edited this, what I like to show is how we can save this to a shared cloud device by going into clicker set, save clicker set as, and basically all I'm trying to say here is I could find my OneDrive. You guys can use a Google Drive, a Dropbox, any shared cloud device, finding that folder. I already created one for you, and we're going to save it. Now, I haven't really touched on this yet, but there is a slight difference between Clicker on a Windows and Mac computer and Clicker on the apps for iPad and Chromebook. What I have been showing you so far is Clicker for Windows and Mac, just because you can have multiple resources up and it's kind of like the teacher view. But now that we've edited this sentence set, we've saved it to the cloud, we're going to go into Clicker Writer on the iPad or Chromebook. This is kind of the student view. It's pretty much exactly the same except that automatic picture feature, and creating material is a bit more difficult because you can only copy and paste 12 words. So anyway, I don't want to confuse you guys too much. There is slight differences, but overall they are very, very similar. So now let's open up that sentence set that we edited. Gonna go into File Explorer, My Files, and we're gonna find our correct folder. So now that we have this, the student can begin working, and what I think is great, let's bring Clicker to life is like what I like try to call it. All I'm doing, guys, is making it speak after every word.
Grassy plains.
We can download the voices that are in the WinMac. This is like a Microsoft David that I think everybody gets in Microsoft.
Savannas are grassy plains.
But what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm gonna, go to the next sentence, maybe have my word predictor below. Maybe I'm kind of going off
The
I'm kind of trying to write besides just leaning on the sentence set, and that'll make sense in just a second. I'm just gonna
man,
pick random
in,
words
his.
if that's okay with you guys.
I like.
And what I'm trying to show you here is that now there's two ways we can get this material back to the teacher. Now that we've been working, we can send this, and I found that this is really, really helpful for some teachers. We go into the document icon. We can send this Clicker document as an email directly to the teacher. for this presentation, I'm just going to save it back to the cloud. So I'm just going to call this analytics 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I go back into, our desktop, our clicker for WinMac, our teacher's view, let's see that student work. Boom, go into your files. I'm just clicking around. Should be able to get this for you. Okay, I have so many folders, guys, just bear with me. But yeah, that should open that right back up. I'm not sure why that didn't work for me. Of course, technical difficulties on a web demo. But yeah, that should, maybe because it's open here. Maybe I gotta just, oh, I'm opening up the wrong doc. Somebody's gotta help me here. All right, so we got the work from the student. Now, what I was trying to say here is I'm going to introduce analytics. So when I go over to analytics, it's been tracking how I've been working with that set. So I entered in 3 words with the keyboard, the predictor I used 4 words, and then sentence sets about 36%. If you go into print, it really gives you a forensic level of detail about how long I spent in there, what exactly I used. There was another one, I was working with somebody last week. It even tells you what words were in the predictor, like what typed letters. It really gives you a lot. And I think I've actually spent whole demos just talking about analytics. So there is a lot to go over here as far as how much data you can collect and see how your students are using Clicker. But now that we're kind of done here, and now that we've, showed you the sentence set, showed you how to edit it, pull it from the cloud and all that, we're gonna dive right into that connect set. Am I not sharing my screen anymore? What's going on? Oh, I am sharing. Oh, is everything good, guys? I don't see green around my screen. Just want to make sure I'm good here. Naomi can give me a all right. Looks good. Thank you for that, Laura. I appreciate that. I'm just nervous that you guys aren't with me anymore. All right, so we're here. We're in our connect set, and as I've said, this is a multiple sentence outcome. So this is a topic specific connect set where, we could turn on the word predictor here, and you guys can do this in Clicker Writer as well. But as I said before, I just like to show you it because I could show you multiple at the same time. But yeah, as you can see,
African buffaloes are
I believe there's certain ways that we can go about making this sentence. As there's not single sentence outcomes, I'm not as comfortable building these sentences, but you guys get the idea. I think I need a refresher myself on animals of the savannah. But anyway, it's really great turning on the word predictor and kind of just going through these topics to build your sentences, to build your paragraphs. I really like the connect set. It's pretty advanced. And I'd love to maybe discuss this with anyone who's interested, at a later date. But we've went through connect sets, we went through the books, went through the sentence sets and the talk sets. Now I brought you over to a word bank here. This is topic specific as well. And what I really like to show is clicker set, new. Making a new word bank is super easy. Same with the sentence set and other resources. Kind of try to go on the fly here if that's all right. I know we're in New Jersey. My favorite team is actually the New Jersey Devils. So all I'm doing, guys, off screen is I just Googled New Jersey Devils. Got it, pasted it. And here's how quick you can make these word banks. So and if we go into Picturize, maybe we could pull up some pictures. Great. And I'll be honest with you guys, most of these pictures are from the add-on symbol sticks library. That is an additional cost. I like to be transparent about that. Like these are kind of what symbol sticks looks like. These guys right here, these guys. This one is our, I'd say 70% is symbol sticks. But anyway, that's how easy it is to make a word bank. Um, you know, you could do the same thing for a sentence set, clicker set, new. And I was always in here how it says the first 12 words will be shown. That's why it's a bit easier to make it in this because it automatically creates multiple sentence sets. But that's, what all I was trying to say is as a kid, I loved hockey. I still do. And this is just a great way to, if something isn't in learning grids, how quickly you can make something. I got to talk about the clicker board here. It's another, pre-made learning grid. Now that we've kind of went through animals of the savannah, maybe kind of jotting down what they know. And I was going to try to fill out one more word, but all I'm trying to show you guys here is what I mentioned earlier. We can make this planning board into a word bank. So if I go to the top left, boom, I can create a word bank. So, it's really easy to kind of use what you have been using to make other material as well. I love to end off, and I appreciate you guys staying with me with our make a book. So the make a book is kind of it's a great way to end the topic here. So you have basically all the different supports that we have been using. You can use this to make a book. So when I go into the next page, I can click my pencil icon and I have that topic specific vocabulary that I can use to help me write my book. I have a word predictor as well. And then, as for pictures, same idea. Believe we should have our own picture grid to go along with this. I'm not sure why that is, but you could easily, search for pictures as well. But animal life, why not? Why not an alligator? Yeah. So that's kind of the broad overview of Clicker. I know I covered a lot. I'd love to open up the last 5-7 minutes for questions. As I said before, this is my contact information. Could drop it into the chat too, but I'd love to hear any. Oh, I see some in the chat. Can you import your own pictures? That's a great question. Yes, you can. So, as I said, I had that New Jersey Devils folder. And if I go into options, pictures, picturize, basically you just click the plus button and you add an existing library that way. So the library has to be saved on your desktop, but you just pretty much link it. And as long as the pictures are, what they say they are, it should work. So what I'm turning on here is our picturize that is exclusive to Windows and Mac. But if I type, yeah, just give me a second, guys. I confuse clickers sometimes.
Football.
But yeah, we should have had an automatic picture appear, of course. What's going on there? Oh, here we go. Okay, I gotta turn these off. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second.
Football.
And it's just
Hockey.
great for,
New Jersey.
you guys get the idea. But as I said, this is exclusive to WinMac, but some students do have access to a PC, so they could, have that automatic picture support while they're typing and kind of lean on it as well. But yeah, if there isn't any questions, I don't think I have much more for you. I don't want to bore you with going through the options, but we are eye gaze. You can use eye gaze with our Windows and Mac. Basically, we do have accessibility features for the iPad and Chromebook, but it's just there. It's whatever the iPad or the Chromebook has. But on a Windows and Mac, it's our accessibility, if that makes sense. Hopefully I explained that correctly. I see a new message. I'm sorry. I did not mention it. I probably should. Pricing. I really appreciate that, Laura. You're helping me here. All right. So we offer district-wide licensing as well. Does it work with screen readers? It depends which one. It works with Zoom text, if you guys know what that is. So basically anything that you guys say, does this work? I just have to like know what exactly you're looking for. Like it depends, Jaws. I'm not sure. I could definitely ask my tech team. Usually I'd like to say usually it does. Just because like if it works within the Mac, it should be able, or the Windows PC, it should be able to work in the teacher's view at least. But yeah, these are our one school building licenses. So if you needed 2 seats of clicker, this is kind of the intro license. Say John Smith, the teacher, needed it for their one student. This is what you would go with. The 1+1 will give you 2 seats of clicker on any mix of Windows, Mac, iPad, and Chromebook devices. One school 5 seats of clicker on any mix of Win, Mac, iPad, and Chromebook. And then lastly, I do maybe want to mention our district-wide licenses as well, because, as I said, those are one school building. Hopefully you guys are still with me. I think you are. How long can teachers trial this for? If so, for how long? Great question, Laura. So, because it's kind of a weird time, we're open to giving, it's the end of the school year. That's all I'm trying to say. We're open to giving like an exploratory trial for the teacher. So if you're ready to use it with students, great. We're more than happy to give you that as well. But we can give you a kind of a trial to end the school year. And if students aren't ready to kind of adopt something new, we're more than welcome to revisit another trial at the start of the next school year, if that makes sense. So hopefully that wasn't confusing the way I worded that, but yes, absolutely. What about for our statewide loan library? That's a great question. I believe New Jersey, their Disability Rights New Jersey does have a library, does have a couple seats of clicker, I believe 5 seats. We're in Arizona. It depends which lending library. I could see if we have a relationship with them. But yeah, definitely we do have relationships all over the country. So maybe we do have, relation something there. All right, great. And then yeah, hopefully you guys are still with me on this slide here. Can anyone confirm they see the student support licenses, please? If not, it's all good.
Yes,
But this is
it's
great.
good.
Thank you guys. I'm sorry. The green went away, so it's not telling me it's sharing the screen. But yeah, this is the district-wide options. If you needed, it's a 10-seat minimum, and this will give you access to clicker throughout the district. It is exclusive to device. So for student support licenses, it's Windows, Mac, or iPad and Chromebook. You're more than welcome to get both, but remember how I said the one school licenses are for one school building on any mix of devices. It's a little confusing, and I'm more than happy to clarify any of this. I know I threw a lot of information out at you guys, but that's all I got for you. I appreciate you joining me, and if there isn't any questions, that's kind of where I can end it today. But yeah, appreciate your guys' time.
Thank you, Kyle. This has been great. Last chance for questions. I guess not. Thank you.
All right, bye guys.